Now, listen, I know the quartering is low-hanging fruit, and when I'm covering him, it's usually to just, hang out with you guys and have a fun time, punching very, very far down on an intellectual scale. The guy isn't exactly the most politically literate or politically, aware guy, right? He just has his, basic dialogue tree of culture war talking points, and he doesn't really engage with debates or anything anymore because he got blown out a couple of times and stopped. But he still is grinding out those uploads, and this particular video did tempt me into covering it because of the particular subject matter that he's talking about. And that is the iDubbbz's Creator Clash boxing match and Sam Hyde being banned from it. And I'm gonna first give a little bit of background to the situation, give my take on the banning and the drama, yada yada, and then we're gonna watch the video and dunk on the quartering, as we love to do, as we want to do here most often. So Creator Clash was a YouTuber boxing event put together by iDubbbz's. I believe most of the proceeds for ticket sales, if not all or something, besides like everything that would, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the money that went beyond what was needed to cover the cost of the event go to charity? I may be wrong about. I saw that. Yeah, I saw David Hayter, Solid Snake's original voice actor, calling the quartering a dipshit on Twitter today. That was pretty funny. Yeah, that was dope as fuck. You should edit that tweet in to the video, Cherry, in post if you want people to see that, because it's pretty legendary. I wanted to comment. All you would need to do is record a voice line of you saying the quartering's a dipshit in Snake's voice, and his reputation will be ruined. Regardless, though, so Creator Clash was this big YouTuber boxing event. Some Twitch streamers were brought to as well as just some, large figures in this space. And it was put all together by iDubbbz's and his wife, fiance, girlfriend? I'm not 100% sure. I think fiance, Anissa, and they got together, they put it together, and it was a whole big thing. They did it in Tampa, Florida, back where I'm from. And me and Lonnie, my girlfriend, actually bought tickets to go there, and we're gonna be in like we're gonna be pretty close to the front. It was gonna be pretty good seats and everything. But the week before, we were supposed to, get tickets, fly out, and go to Florida to go to this event. My girlfriend's car got broken into. And not only was her laptop stolen, but so was her purse with my wallet in it, because she was out doing errands and had my wallet in it. And my wallet got stolen with my ID and my debit card in it. So I had to order a new debit card, order a new ID. Can't get on a plane and go across the country without an ID. And can't travel across the country without a debit card either. So it was just a whole big situation, and we had to cancel the trip. So sadly, despite buying tickets, 'twas a waste of money. I was not able to go. I wasn't even able to get my money back or like resell them somewhere to like, recuperate the losses. Thankfully they weren't too expensive to begin with, but yeah, that really sucked. I had to stay off of Twitter the day of that event because I was just, the Squidward meme? The one where Squidward's looking out the window and everybody's like running around, frolicking outside, having fun? That was me that day. So I just had to not be on Twitter. Regardless, though, the event was pretty goddamn hyped up, and a lot of people went there. There were some pretty big YouTubers there, both in attendance in the audience as well as competing as boxers in the event. However, iDubbbz's, the person who's organized this event, a few months ago, or not a few months ago, almost like 6 months ago at this point, put out a documentary where he visited somebody by the name of Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde was a guy who, I feel like the only way I can explain Sam Hyde is just without people getting mad, because Sam Hyde fans are about the most vicious human beings, if you can call them that, on the internet. So I am just going to read his Wikipedia page, and that will give you, I hope, enough of an idea. Samuel Whitcomb Hyde is an American comedian, writer, performance artist, and actor. He co-created the sketch comedy group $1 Million Extreme, or MDE, with Charles Carroll and Nick Rochefort. I assume that's how you pronounce it. Hyde is known for his involvement in several public pranks and internet hoaxes. His style of humor has been described as post-ironic, as he regularly blurs the distinction between himself and his characters. Hyde's transgressive style has also garnered public controversy, and he has frequently been associated with the alt-right, including for making monetary donations to the website The Daily Stormer's founder Andrew Anglin for his legal fees. So, yeah, he donated to the founder of the Daily Stormer's legal fees. The Daily Stormer being the most well-known neo-Nazi alt-right publication in America, I don't know if it's actually American-based. Yeah, so he's like an extremely popular, ultra-edgy, but haha ironic, but he also donated to the founder of the Daily Stormer. Now, maybe there's some really haha funny context to that, and he did it for a meme. Yeah, he's garnered a lot of criticism from people on the left because he has a large far-right audience. For those that don't know, the Buffalo neo-Nazi shooter a couple days ago was a fan of Sam Hyde. Here, I'll go ahead and, for those of you guys that saw my coverage of the Buffalo Shooters Manifesto, he included this image of this photoshopped image, it would seem, of Sam Hyde. Wait, is that Photoshop? No, it's just his knee. Okay, never mind. They included this, the Buffalo shooter included this image of Sam Hyde in his manifesto, and said that was him, sort of playing into a very long-running joke among Sam Hyde fans to, take a picture of him and attempt to hoax his identity or somebody with his face onto the identity of someone who's done something horrible or been the victim of a disaster. Very similar to the type of thing people do with Wings of Redemption. The guy's no doubt, like genuinely, probably very far right. If not so ironically brain poisoned that he doesn't really care about the world, morals, or being a good person, and he's just doing it for the memes unironically, and he doesn't really care about the moral repercussions of any of his actions. It's all just jokes and memes to him, which I suppose it would be better than him being an actual Nazi. Anyway, iDubbbz, of all people, and you may think that iDubbbz, somebody who is quite known for his very edgy and controversial style and humor, would actually love someone like Sam Hyde and really get along with him. However, iDubbbz is more intrigued by Sam Hyde because iDubbbz's type of comedy always had this air of sincerity to it. When iDubbbz is making a joke that was genuinely a joke and wasn't meant to be taken seriously, you knew that. Like, if you weren't fucking stupid, you knew when iDubbbz was making a joke. And you knew when iDubbbz was being serious and genuinely ranting in a comedic way to express a genuine, sincere belief that he holds. The type of humor Sam Hyde engages in, though, is, I'm not even going to say ironic, but it's about 50-50 ironic and meant to make you uncomfortable. Have you ever, this is something I had a friend who would do this to people, and it was genuinely very funny, but I guess this is the only way to explain the sort of make you feel uncomfortable humor that Sam Hyde likes to do. This is what my friend would do to people. He would look them dead in the eye and say, "Are you feeling it? Are you feeling me right now? Are you feeling me right now? Can you feel me? What are you talking about? You can't feel me right now?" And just do that. Very inappropriate and very weird, but I mean, the idea is just to really confuse and fuck with people. You know, like if somebody walks up to you for no reason and starts doing something like that, you're gonna feel super uncomfortable, confused, and just weirded out. And that is the type of humor that Sam Hyde likes to do when he's doing the sort of make you uncomfortable kind of humor. He also does this really funny, okay, this I like because I realized what it is. And it's so fucking, like, weird. He does a thing where he'll every once in a while just go, just for a second, he'll stick his tongue out, and I like to imagine he's like a snake, like how a snake sticks its tongue out to taste the air. I like to imagine that's what he's doing. He does that to sort of throw people off and mess with them. And he never breaks character. He's got several characters, but really they're all one character that is Sam Hyde. And he never breaks that character. even people that he's, you know, that he spent long periods of time with have disclosed, like, he doesn't break character. He's just, he is a character, but he doesn't break it. iDubbbz was pretty intrigued by this guy and wanted to do a, you know, kind of a documentary on him, similar to how, you know, iDubbbz has obviously been doing a lot more documentary type content lately, and it's been doing really well. So he goes and he, you know, tries to do a documentary, and Sam Hyde does a prank on him. He sets up like this fake office with fake employees and a fake shaved-headed drug addict woman that hangs around their office, I guess. That's his girlfriend. She was an actor that was paid, not an actor, but some chick they paid to pretend. But you know, he goes in and, you know, iDubbbz is like concerned with what's going on here because it's just such a degenerate display that he's witnessing. And in the end, you know, it's all revealed that Sam Hyde was just trolling him. And I think that ended up being for the best because it led to iDubbbz being able to explain his fascination with Sam Hyde's humor way better than he could have if Sam Hyde had just behaved completely fairly and, you know, just normally while they were hanging out, you know, sincerely. And iDubbbz does this whole breakdown of post-ironic humor. It's very good. You should all go check it out. I really do recommend it. But obviously this led to Sam Hyde, in his trolling fashion, deciding to sort of, at least his fan base, it doesn't even really feel like Sam Hyde and like iDubbbz themselves are even really like part of this whole thing as much, but their fan bases, or I should mostly say Sam Hyde's fan base, which seems to outweigh iDubbbz's fan base at this point, believe it or not. Sam Hyde's fan base has basically developed this idea that iDubbbz is terrified of Sam Hyde, and that iDubbbz is a pussy for being terrified of engaging, quote. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Now they're asking that iDubbbz box Sam Hyde, but I guess before it was that, like, iDubbbz won't engage with him again, but Sam Hyde's whole thing is trolling. Why would he? I don't know. It's really bizarre. It seems like Sam Hyde fans are just really trying to find an excuse to go after iDubbbz because iDubbbz is a figure that was once seen as sort of like a haha edgelord, you know, kind of guy back during the golden days, you know, to these people. But nowadays, iDubbbz is a little bit more genuine, a little bit more sincere. He doesn't play into the super ultra edgy, you know, no personality, bargain bag, edgelord type of humor as much anymore. He's a little bit more creative with it, and I feel like a lot of those people are mad about it. I think a lot of it has to do with his political opinions that he expresses being way more left-wing now. I mean, look at Sam Hyde's audience. They're very, very right-wing. I'm not saying there aren't left-wing people among his audience. There certainly are. So if you're a Sam Hyde fan and you're left-wing and you watch this, not talking about you, but if you are one of those people, you should know better than anyone. Sam Hyde does have an issue with toxicity and far-right sentiment in his audience, and let's just say his history doesn't make me confident about his own political beliefs. Regardless, though, because of this perceived political motivations behind all of this has resulted in not just Sam Hyde fans who are maybe not as politically motivated or even care about politics to get involved in this, but also right-wing political figures to also jump on board in favor of Sam Hyde. That including our boy TheQuartering, our favorite grifter. So let's go ahead and start the video. We're watching at 1.5 speed because TheQuartering is very slow, and you can tell by the fact this video is just under 10 minutes that he really tried to stretch it out to get as many mid-roll ads just crammed in there as possible. So yeah, let's just hop right in. I gotta put my camera on the top right of the screen though. There we go. Nice.
Hello everyone, Jeremy here from TheQuartering, and look, first and foremost, I think we all have our biases, and that in general that's just fine as long as we're willing to admit it. So first and foremost, I don't know why I feel so strongly about it, but like YouTubers boxing or these these influencer boxing things are so dumb to me. Like I get like this like aggressive reaction to how stupid I think they are. But
I'll let him finish.
I understand that, for example, the Creator Clash was for charity. They sold 100,000 paid pay-per-view copies, which means it was like about
Oh, I wasn't wrong about it being for charity. That's pretty dope.
$2 million they raised for charity. It's hard to, I can say something's not for me, but also respect that, they raised the money. And, if you enjoyed the creator clash, good for you. If you had, creators that, maybe if I had creators that I was like emotionally invested in or that I liked, I would have maybe watched it. I guess Harley's pretty cool, but like, I didn't really even know any of these other ones. They're all very popular and whatever, but, couldn't care less about it. Couldn't care less about TikTokers boxing. Couldn't care less about Instagrammers boxing. Couldn't care less about Twitchers. I think it's all dumb. If I want to watch boxing, I want to watch like...
Well, hold on. The reason why the influencer boxing stuff... Now, normally I don't give a shit about it because it is creators that I don't care about. But in this case, the reason why I wanted to see it was, one, because it would be an exciting event with content creators there that I wanted to meet and, pog out with and whatnot. But also because I don't care about boxing. There was one TikToker? Okay. I don't care about boxing as much as a sport. I mean, I guess it's cool. And if I'm gonna watch boxing, I'd want to watch it in real life because, you're watching a fight happen in front of you, and that's way more exciting than just watching one on TV. Like, if I'm gonna watch a video of a fight, it's got to be a street fight. And I've seen some pretty good street fight videos before as well. I saw a video the other day of this one guy who got like attacked by a mob of people in I think like a park or something. And it was like watching a scene out of John Wick. He starts like putting the cars in the parking lot between him and like this mob of 15 people. And he takes them out one by one, knocking each of them out in like 1 or 2 punches, like cold in the jaw, knocking them out cold. And he's like bobbing and weaving around the cars, like funneling them in so there's less coming at him at once. And he knocks like 7 of them out. And all the rest of them, like the 8 or 9 of them left, are like, all right, we give up. We're not going to win this. The Zerg strategy's not working. Anyway, no. The exciting thing about the boxing event, really, the reason why you want to watch something like that is because most of them aren't very experienced. So it's funny. And that's at least, like, some of them are, certainly. I didn't watch the event, but, and I already told you why, but, like, I'm sure some of them were experienced and there was some pretty good boxing going down, but I'm sure many of them were also like, boxing like beginners. It was probably kind of funny for people.
Not even pro, but at like mid-level, where people are still hungry but still skilled. That's good boxing. What you see nowadays is like Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather garbage. Is just ridiculous schemes completely created to separate fools from their money. Like if you paid to watch Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight, you should feel bad about it. That fight, these fights are never going to be real.
Okay, this guy shaming people who pay to support content is pretty hilarious, considering that this guy just shills and begs, and like this guy, I'm pretty sure we're coming up to the sponsored segment. I mean, these are his sponsors, I think here, right? Or no, I think these are I don't think these are sponsors. I think these are his other platforms, maybe. No, I think they are sponsors, right? This dude literally spends the last quarter of his video shilling. It's his socials. Yeah, like he spends the last quarter of his video shilling. I don't know. Maybe I'm punching too low.
But with the creator clash, look, I happen to be a fan of Sam's work, Sam Hyde's work, his memes. I've interviewed him before on the Incredible Salt Mine podcast with Count Dankula. He was hilarious. I think most of his stuff is hilarious. I don't really buy into this thing where that he's like some evil right-wing crazy person. I just haven't.
Maybe there's like context to him donating for the legal fees to the Daily Stormer for his legal fees, the neo-Nazi publication. Maybe there's like context to that, and it was really just a haha funny meme or something. But yeah, it's just a joke, bro. I do love that though, because do you guys remember when Scott Cawthon, the guy who made Five Nights at Freddy's, when it came out that he donated like tens of thousands of dollars to anti-LGBT far-right politicians, including Trump's run, and people were criticizing him for it, and all of the Scott Cawthon simps were like spamming every left-wing channel, including mine, that criticized him. Like, no, he's allowed to have his opinions. It's not serious. It's just a donation. Why are you taking it so seriously? He's allowed to do with his money what he likes. He's not really homophobic just because he donated to, like, they'll make excuses for anything. Their daddy can literally donate to an anti-LGBT hate group, and they'll still claim he's not homophobic. They have to defend their daddy. The Morty voice, yeah, of course the fans sound like their fans sound like Morty, of course.
I don't really believe that. I believe he's an entertainer. I believe he's eccentric. I believe that, you know, some things that he does rub people the wrong way, but he's just being Sam Hyde, and he's just living his life the way he wants to live it. And so, you know, that's it. Well, he had actually trained one of the boxers from Epic Mealtime, Harley, and then purchased 5 front row tickets for $11,500 to the Creator Clash, only to find out that not only was he banned, but people were...
No, I don't think he was able to buy them. I bought 5 front row tickets and found out a few hours before the event that I was banned. So out about 11. Oh no, he did. Wait, didn't he get his money back? Also, security was walking around with pictures of my face and bothering some people about wearing my shirts, and the cameraman were told to avoid entire sections of the crowd rocking my shit. Lol. And I'd still train iDubbbz for the revenge match if he apologized. Mercy and Grace high on the list nowadays. Just gotta ditch Yoko Ono. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Sam Hyde is also on board with the anti... so for those that don't know, a big part of why iDubbbz is now hated by, like, the edgelord red pill community now is because his girlfriend or fiance, I think, is a sex worker. Like, she started in OnlyFans, and so now all the red-pilled people felt super betrayed by him, and they hate him now. And I think that's where that's coming from. I think he's like, yeah, you gotta ditch your fiance, is what he's saying there. Yeah, it's the soy cock. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So basically, Sam Hyde's fans have taken to basically making it their personality for the last 4 or 5 months to troll or attempt to troll, or I guess pretend to troll iDubbbz. And so with this event, there was obviously like an awareness that Sam Hyde's probably going to try to show up and crash the party and do what Sam Hyde does, which is create a scene and potentially fuck up the event. That's the kind of thing that Sam Hyde would do. And his fans are even more likely to do it. Sam Hyde there's at least the likelihood of Sam Hyde not ruining the event because, like, maybe deep down he has some, like, beyond his character, he's got some respect, you know, some respect for professional courtesy. Like, he wouldn't destroy this charity event, like, by causing, like, a massive scene and ruining it. But, like, his fans who try to emulate him and want to be him and do a poor job at emulating him, it would not surprise me if there was a little bit of concern about the people there wearing Sam Hyde shirts and whether or not they might be there for some nefarious reasons. I can understand why he was banned from the event. I hope he gets his money back, though. I didn't get my money back for buying... Because I bought tickets and wasn't able to go to the event. I didn't get my money back. But, I mean...
Not even allowed to wear his merch inside. Why?
Actually, wait, no. I hope he doesn't get his money back. The money went, like, it went to charity. Wait, never mind. I hope he doesn't get it back. It went to charity.
Well, because iDubbbz is a little baby. Where did all this start? Well, it started way back... You know, I mean, long before this, actually, they have like a weird history long before this. But Sam Hyde releases a video called The Truth About iDubbbz. And he drops it way before iDubbbz releases his video on Sam. See, he got this in his head that he's a big...
Didn't Sam Hyde false strike iDubbbz's video on Sam Hyde, the original one? Or like back in the... Because prior to the documentary, this is all fuzzy for me because this was like months and months ago, but prior to the documentary... There was already some beef between Sam Hyde and iDubbbz going in because Sam Hyde had, like, false copyright claimed or false striked a video of iDubbbz that belonged to iDubbbz. So, like, going in, I'm already, like, more inclined to be on iDubbbz's side. And I'm not, like, super biased in all of this. Like, I don't really... This isn't the kind of thing that I really spend much time putting emotional, you know, energy into. But it feels like TheQuartering does.
Documentarian, and he did like his documentary on Full Force, which was decent, I think. You know, after that, I don't remember the second one. I definitely didn't watch it, so I can't critique it. But like, fine. I get that he can't do what he used to do on YouTube, and people grow and they want to change their content. It's not what I want to watch iDubbbz for, and that's fine. Now, 3 months ago, he had set up this like big documentary to, in his mind, probably to like out the real Sam Hyde and like pin him down. Well, unbeknownst to him, Sam Hyde had planned to basically gaslight iDubbbz the entire time. So they had this meeting where they were like, okay, once iDubbbz gets here, like he basically got memed on, and then he didn't like it, and now he's being salty about it. It's his event. He can ban whoever he wants, but he just still looks kind of weak. So you end up, they have this list.
But this is something to me that's like very interesting. about these types of people. So when somebody online trolls you or fucks with you, the best response you can possibly have is to give them absolutely no attention or feedback. Ignore them, don't give them attention, don't give them what they want. And people like TheQuartering, in response to somebody on the left who complains about, say, right-wingers harassing LGBT people, someone like TheQuartering or TheQuartering himself would no doubt respond by saying, we'll just turn off the computer, just ignore them, it's the internet, just ignore them, right? And go on with their day. iDubbbz is doing just that. He's not giving him feedback. He didn't let him go to the event because he knew he'd probably go there to try to start shit. And he isn't giving him a public response or what he wants, which is to have. He wants to be fed. So Sam Hyde's a troll and he wants to be fed. iDubbbz isn't doing that. And not only is Sam Hyde clearly frustrated that he's not getting the attention he wants, but Sam Hyde fans, or should I say right-wingers who are pretending to be Sam Hyde fans because they see this as a way to gain political points, that now I guess they're completely turning that around. And now, if you don't engage with trolls, you're a pussy now, I guess? How are you a pussy for not engaging with a troll? I'd understand if it was like Sam Hyde had some beef with iDubbbz and want to talk it out or debate or something, but that's not the case. Sam Hyde, as the public knows him, is not a real human being. He's a character. There's no reason to engage with. He's just trolling. It's why would he? I don't know. I don't understand their logic here, what their complaint is. It seems like what they want to do is find any excuse to get a little dunks on somebody they disagree with politically and pretend like it's not because they disagree politically. Brutus Magnuson, thanks for the $5 super chat, says slightly related. The right keeps on talking about free speech and social media platforms, but never ask why just a few companies control discourse. We should too. I mean, that's always been the case. That's the problem with capitalism, is that we've got, this very consolidated group of companies that own a lot of the the branched out sub companies that we recognize, right? If you go and you look at the foods in your grocery store, you see so many brands and labels on them and you think, oh, these are all from different companies. But then you find out all those brands and companies are owned by the same 4 mega companies. And so really you're buying from 4 or 5 of the same, the same 4 or 5 companies when you go to the grocery store most of the time.
They've all planned out before iDubbbz even gets there. That, women hate this one, extremely powerful roundhouse kick, all this stuff that they know would basically trigger him. He thinks that Sam's girlfriend, he's being mean to her, and he doesn't really know. He's the butt of the joke, essentially. And that's probably never happened to him before. And so he doesn't react very well. Then Sam kind of just, once Sam gets the footage he wants, he bails out. Because Sam didn't probably really want to do this documentary with him anyway. It was just not what he wanted to do. That's not who Sam is. And so they do this interview. They finally get this interview, the sit-down interview. And there's a moment where, iDubbbz realizes he's not in control. And where Sam reveals that the whole thing is fake and the whole thing was a setup.
Be serious? You want to be serious?
Let's be serious.
Yeah. If you want me to, okay.
Yeah.
It's less entertaining if I'm serious.
Oh, I totally disagree.
All right, fine. Yeah, what you said. If I'm I just need to make a funny video, I need to make a Joe Rogan shout out, I'll do that. That's what I think.
Perfect. That's
there
good.
You go.
Yes.
You got it. You want to grab the mystery.
I'm curious about your relationship with Danny. Has she?
So essentially, that this is someone he paid to appear to be a junkie. iDubbbz is, maybe caught in a vulnerable moment.
So what actually happened that TheQuartering isn't revealing here is that Sam Hyde paid a woman to shave her head and pretend to be Sam Hyde's extremely drug-addicted girlfriend who has, clearly has severe mental problems. And the point of that was to make iDubbbz feel like he just walked into, some shit he needs to call the police and have, the authorities come and deal with this. That was the point of the troll, right? To make iDubbbz feel as uncomfortable as possible. So I don't know why that was the point of it. That's so low. Yeah, I mean, to be clear here, most normal human beings, that sounds hilarious. Yeah, the joke in and of itself is I guess that's pretty funny. Yeah, it's hilarious or whatever. But the aftermath of it is what's interesting to me. Haha, okay, the joke happened or whatever. Now it's all over with. But it feels almost like they didn't get the reaction they wanted from iDubbbz, which would be being super offended and angry. He was just kind of It was just like all a meme, I guess. Okay, all right. I get okay. And then he just ends up making the end of the documentary talking about like irony. But it feels like because they didn't get the angry reaction they wanted, they're all mad about it, and like they've had this persistent like desire to get his attention that just hasn't been met, and that's where this is all coming from.
Here.
Been on drugs since she met you?
She's been on drugs since before she met me. So if you're implying that I've driven her to drug use, you are incorrect.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's what I wanted to sort of get out of the way.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad we got that out of the way.
Have you tried to get her any help?
No, seeing as she's a girl I paid $500 to shave her head and pretend to be my girlfriend. No, I haven't tried to get her any help. Do you want me to try?
Wait, okay.
I don't know her that well. It's probably not my business to get her off drugs. Also, I think I told her to put her hand in your pocket and pretend to be on drugs.
And that's the moment.
Shut up.
You think? Are you serious? You think I would date a girl that has her
Oh
head?
yeah, this was a bit weird. Like he was gonna get her to like stick her hand in iDubbbz's pocket and like, you know what you know, right? Go do a little grab, do a little bit of a, you know, just to fuck with him. That might be that. I think that's that might be going over the line from joke to groping. Did it go that far? I don't think so.
Hair shaved like that?
Yes.
You think I'm a fucking mental case?
Yes.
No, actually, I've known her for a long time. And,
This is so upsetting to me right now.
you think I would?
I believe he's being dead honest there. So, according to Sam, Dr. Mike, and I don't know who Brandon Buckingham is, to clarify, I bought 5 front row tickets and I found out a few hours before the event that I was banned. So I'm out $11,500. Also, security was walking around with pictures of my face and bothering some people about wearing my shirts. And the cameramen were told to avoid entire sections of the crowd because they were wearing Sam's gear. LOL. Also, I'd still train iDubbbz for the revenge match if he apologized. Mercy and Grace high on the list nowadays. Just got to ditch Yoko Ono. This is a reference to his girlfriend. I don't really like to, a lot of people have put a lot of blame on her. Look, he's a man, I guess, and he's making his own decisions, and he seems happy with her. So whatever. I'm not gonna go down that road.
There we go.
But, so
at least the quartering isn't that much of a little cringe lord. He had to like acknowledge it because you got to. But hey, rare quartering W. It's not asking much to ask a content creator to not be a weirdo about another content creator's relationships. Most other content creators in the quartering sphere have not met that bar. The quartering did though, and you know what? Normally I consider these types of videos to be punching down, but I consider this video to be punching just a little bit less down. Just a little bit less down today. We're punching. A little bit more respect for the quartering than I normally have. At least iDubbbz's fiance would never go out for pizza without him. True.
he tweets us out that Sam Hyde claims that iDubbbz banned him from the event and cost him $11,500 should they pay him back. And this is the response from the creator class, which I'm sure is probably run by iDubbbz or somebody close to him. Refunds take 4 to 6 days to process. Prayer hands. Hope this helps anyone who refunded a ticket and are not sure how this process works. And then, I don't know, hand on head thing. What about travel and hotel expenses? You banned him for no apparent reason, and he planned a whole weekend around this event while you pretended to be his friend.
For no reason?
Nicholas Diorio writes, effing cringe. You have a lot of people in here like, give Sam his money back. Respect from the event went from 100 to 0 real quick. Just write him a check, you scumbags, and an apology. They didn't want, I know why they banned him, because, iDubbbz is baby.
The dick riding,
but
Jesus.
he also didn't want Sam to do something.
He bought a ticket to an event that he was banned from. And all these people are like so fucking mad. Jesus Christ. Have you ever seen so much dick riding in a Twitter thread in your life? Jesus. I like the no reason thing too. Listen, like I'm not even like this huge like iDubbbz fan or anything like that. It's just wild to me how much the people that are here like to simp for Sam Hyde they're such dick riders. Like only in these communities will you see such pro dick riding. Like you can't go on Pornhub and see levels of dick riding that you're seeing here in this thread of tweets.
Something that would ruin the event in his mind. I think if Sam would have got on in the ring or something like that and did something funny, it would have been even better for the event. But like, again, there's been no indication that he's getting his money back. I'm sure they will refund his money, but this is a new low for iDubbbz.
Wait, there's no indication he's going to get his money back? They said they do refunds.
They're really sending security around and not allowing his merch to appear on camera. I mean, that is a whole new level of cuckold. I hope you enjoyed this video.
The cameraman were told to avoid entire sections of the crowd rocking my shit. That sounds dubious. That's a dubious claim at best. Cuckold. Yeah, listen, guys. 2016 too. I've been saying it for a while now. I look at Reddit, I see Reddit, and I see you motherfuckers complaining about me saying we're going back to 2016. I'm telling you guys, we're going back. It's 2016 too. I've been telling you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment and you enjoyed me beating up the quartering on a intellectual level, please consider dropping a like both in the stream or the video when it goes out as a segment on its own. And of course, if you want to see more from me here on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. And if you haven't already, ring the bell icon next to the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so YouTube does actually tell you when I go live or upload a new video, because they won't do it otherwise. So make sure you've done that. Also, of course, if you want to see more from me on the internet, you can follow my social medias linked down below, including my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and fan Discord. And you can support me financially by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me directly through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.